Okay, right. Apologies for that. A few issues. Hopefully that should all be sorted out now. I've now got no game sound for qualifying, which is fantastic. So hopefully it should be back for the race. But yeah, we're back live. So at the minute, Zumpy is on pole on the soft tyre. So the top six are all qualified on the softs. Then you've got Jamie and FTRL Oven on the hard tyres. Nexus Lotus in P9 on the mediums, and Zach rounded off the top 10 on the hards. So the rest of it's fair game. Lee Cole's going to be starting right from the very back. And yeah, I mean, I'm still going to go with Zumpy to get pole tonight. 16.5 is a very, very good lap.
Yeah, he's looking a bit unbeatable with that.
He is. I must say, TRS has had an absolutely phenomenal season. For somebody that joined FTRL at the back end of last season, never really done any form of league racing before. I think he's what, 5th in the championship, maybe 5th or 6th.
6th at the moment.
Yeah, he's having a blinding season. He's just invalidated there, unfortunately, I think. But no, he's having a brilliant season. Long may it continue. Marty's up in P5 as well, so he's on a little bit wide there. That might be an invalidation. Yeah, out of turn 4, if you run ever so slightly wide, it does invalidate you as well, doesn't it? So
One thing to note here is FTRL Oven is in 8th place, but everybody ahead of him is on the softs and he's on the hards.
he is, yeah. Now, I can't see him staying there, to be honest. I think he might drop down. Yeah, there's one. So Zach's beating him on the mediums. Again, that's not bad at all. Imagine if he had just a couple more attempts, he could have put himself up into P4 or 5 on the mediums. But nevertheless, it's quite a good showing from him. Like I said, alternate strategies tonight. Agent Panda finishing in P12. Jamie Morris on a flying lap on the mediums. I imagine he will get himself into the top 10. And I can't see Blue Flag staying outside the top 10 either, so I reckon Oven might be starting 11th, which won't be a bad place for him to start, to be honest. Jamie has gone just over a 10th behind Zumpy. Jamie Morris has backed out of his lap, so he's not going to be improving. Let's have a look at Blue Flag as he's coming round to finish his flying lap. A little bit of traffic ahead of him yet. And that is Junkie Sport, who'll be on a lap himself. PLT's retired from P8, it's not a bad lap from him at all. Blue Flag's going to get an ever so slight toe from Junkie Sport here. Nevertheless, 118.6.
Not too bad.
No, it's put him in P11, so he's got essentially free choice of tyre in a pretty good position. I think the only person that can beat that's Rampage now, but he seems to be running in low ERS and he's 5.5 seconds down, so that's not going to be happening. So that is qualifying complete. So we have a front row lockout of Zumpy and Jamie. Jamie obviously needing as many points as he can get tonight to take away and then just pray that Oven doesn't outscore him in the final 2. Then we've got Jesper and Marty in a FTRL best P4 in qualifying for him, I believe. Then we've got Foggy and TRS on the 3rd row, ever-present TRS. Zach on debut on the medium tyres with BLT in P8 for McLaren. Then we've got FTRL Oven on the hard tyres and Nexus Lotus on the mediums, rounding off the top 10. Then we've got Blue Flag, first choice of the tyres for him. First free choice of tyres, should I say. Jamie Morris in P12. Agent Panda and Junkie Sport on the 7th row. And then Rampage and the retiring Lee Cole on the 8th row. And that rounds off the grid. So let us know, for people who have rejoined us for the stream, who you think is going to be on the podium tonight and in what order. And I'm also going to pick your brains, Joe, see what you think, mate.
I think Oven starting on those hards, is going to be in for a shout of outside podium. So I'm going to put him 3rd, and then I think the top 2 will stay as they are. I think Zumpy is looking extremely quick.
Yeah, he is looking quick. I mean, I hope he gets himself a win. To be fair, good luck to him. But I just feel like anybody starting on the softs is at a massive disadvantage. But nevertheless, with all due respect, it is F3, so they might have a little bit more leniency in terms of getting back through the field and whatnot due to the slight mixture in pace in this division, with all due respect to those involved. So it looks like a nice clear race again, not really any rain this week. Something we've been quite blessed by this season, Joe, isn't it? Not really been much rain in any divisions, massively.
Yeah, I think there's only been 2 or 3 sessions in F2. I can't really think of anything else, to be honest. I don't think F1 has had much rain.
Nope.
So not too bad. Different from last season, because last season we had quite a bit of rain.
Exactly. Right, well, do you want to take us through the formation lap, or do you want me to do it?
I can do.
Yeah, you do it. Go on. You can take us through the formation lap. Give us a see if you can beat Will's famous ones.
What makes
brace
them
yourselves.
famous? Just
Yeah.
how quick they are.
Well, no, just he gets the timing spot on every time. So, anyway, right, Zombie takes us away, and Joe Burns leads us through the formation lap. Off you go.
Okay, right. Well, as Aaron says, Zumpy with his first pole position before last time out on his debut, so I'm sure he's looking to capitalise on that. Championship leader Jamie in P2, pretty good position for him to extend his lead. The other Ferrari of FTRL Jesper is P3. Marta VR with a fantastic qualifying from him. He's had a bit of a unfortunate season so far since joining, so it's nice to see him up there, so hopefully he can grab himself a good result. FTRL Foggy for some reason is showing me the pits, so hopefully he's okay. But P5 for him, if he can get onto the grid, is quite a good qualifying for him. TRS is currently sat on the grid, so his tyres are going to be going quite cold. Like Aaron said, pretty solid season for him, currently sat P6 in the championship, so it'll be quite interesting how he does today. Debut man at P7 in the Toro Rosso, currently on the mediums, so it's as long as he can stick to these soft guys in front of him, he's going to be actually in a very good position for this race, so hopefully he can do quite well on his first race. BLT also currently sat on the grid, so him and TRS obviously had to come together. P8's a pretty good qualifying for him. Jamie's title rival currently sat P9, but he is on those hard tyres. We thought he was going to fall outside of the top 10, but he's managed to just about sneak in there, so not a bad qualifying from him. He is currently backing up the grid, trying to play mind games with Jamie, I think. Nexus Lotus sits P10 in the other Toro Rosso with admin Blue Flag. Jamie Morris P12 after he invalidated, unfortunately, on his lap. Agent Panda P13 with FTRL Junkie Sport on his return. Rampage P15 and Lee Call bringing up the rear.
Nicely done indeed, my friend. Right, we're getting ready for lights out in Hungary for round number 10 of this very exciting debut FTRL F3 season. We've got an awful camera angle. We're going to go on board with Jamie as we have 5 red lights. And away we go. Looks like a pretty good start from both the front row there, I think. Zumpy might just get done by Jamie on the inside. Oh, a huge crash
in the background.
That's blue flag.
Blue flag. Oh, what a shame. That was massive.
Even he just absolutely took off. I don't know if any of the guys at the back got damaged. Foggy's dropped all the way down to P15. Nexus Lotus is down as well. Where is Foggy?
Yeah, no, Nexus Lotus retired. He's showing me the pit lane for Foggy, so I don't know if it's...
Yeah, same as me. Quite possibly.
Side by side. Turn 4, you don't want to be going side by side there.
No, you really don't. Marty's dropped down a couple of places. Zach is up to P5 already on debut. TRS is in P4. Oh, that's some broken wing. Is that off? Who is that off of? Is that Junkie Sport? Or is that Lee Cole maybe? So I hope it's not Lee. I think it is. He's front right. Yeah, Lee Cole. Oh no, he's not. He's not.
No, it's not.
I definitely saw someone with some missing wing. Coming out of that chicane, it's Junkie Sport down in P12. Nevertheless, there is a Lee Cole and BLT going side by side. Jamie Morris is into the pits. Oh, Lee has moved himself up, what, 7 places in the first lap? He has, yeah, 7 places.
And capitalised on that early. No.
Yeah, there we go. FTRL Oven is up 3.
Yeah.
Zach is up 2. Jamie Morris has left the session, so he's just rage quit by the looks of things, unless he's lagged out.
Yeah, I think he's disconnected. His dust car is in the pit lane.
Yeah, I mean, he did have to make an early stop, so whether it is just a disconnection maybe, or a rage quit, not too sure. Right, let's go and see what the tyres are up to. Okay. So, TRS putting pressure on Jesper. Potential podium here for TRS. Looks like he's handed in his soft tyres pretty well.
Zach isn't too far behind these either, and he's on the mediums, and he's in a very good spot. Saying that though, Oven is only a couple of seconds back from that, and he's on hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna jinx it. I'm gonna say it early doors, but I think Oven's gonna win this race.
Ooh, I mean, I predicted a P3. I don't want to give him too much bad luck.
Yeah, I'm going for a win. I just think his tyre advantage will be massive. Either him or Zach, I think, will win this. Oh, that's a big lunge from TRS on Jesper. Now, he's in a very good position here as TRS. He doesn't need to force this.
Yeah, he just needs to be patient.
Thing is, though, I mean, typically, I'm sure you won't mind me saying this, but I mean, although he's been finishing maybe 5th and 6th this season, I think podiums have eluded him a little bit. So, when he's in this position, he may be thinking to himself, right, this is my opportunity. So, that always plays
flying on.
He really is. BLT is looking pretty quick behind Marty. Marty's not had the best start, but again, still sitting comfortably inside the points at the minute. Lee Cole's had a lightning start, and I imagine he's just going to keep going up, starting on the mediums as well. Thought he would have started on the hards if he was starting at the back, so he was quicker towards the end, but nevertheless, BLT keeps cutting that corner. Zach looks very close to TRS. He's lost a couple of attempts there, but yeah, Jesper has had a great run on Jamie. Oh, Jamie swerved. Rampage is gone. Yeah, he's got the move. Zach up the inside. Good respect shown by TRS. Yeah, the flag in sector 3. TRS with a monster lunge.
Dive.
Yeah, he needs to calm down, TRS.
Trying to gain one position, he loses the one he had.
Yeah,
so needless.
Exactly. It's like I said, it's the pressure. It's always difficult when you're fighting up towards your first sort of podium spots. He's getting quicker every week. It is very, very easy to make those sorts of mistakes. No intention in it. We have a real life Hungary FTRL train from 2nd all the way down to what, P9?
Oven can see title rival in the distance.
Yeah.
He just has to clear the 3 cars in between.
I don't think Oven will force it, and I hope he doesn't, to be honest, because he's in an unbelievable position at the moment.
Yeah.
Because those soft tyres are going to start dropping off very, very quickly, and evidence of that happening already, to be honest. I'm surprised that none of them have pitted thus far, but
Zach is all over the back of Jesper.
Yeah, Zach's had a great run. So, debut man Zach is currently up into P3.
With the guys around him all getting a lot slower over the next couple of laps.
Yeah, there we go. But Oven has got past TRS. Well, he just needs to slowly plug away at this. He does not need to force it. He doesn't need to push too hard. He's in a fantastic position.
He needs to keep his head, especially after Italy, because he threw everything away this week. That's such a good result.
Those 19 points could have been about, what, 10, 11 points the deficit,
Yeah.
something like that.
Really no need.
No. But then again, he's in the Mercedes for a reason. He's a very quick driver, knows what he's doing, plenty of experience. Very nice guy as well, so I hope he does extremely well, but just needs to keep his head. He's reading in Jesper at the minute. The two Renaults are both past BLT now. Lico coming up to the back of his teammate. Now, are we going to see any stops from any of the soft runners yet? Doesn't look like we are. Zach has only got his had a brilliant last sector. He's really close to Jamie.
Has gone massively wide on the exit of the last turn, but BRS is going to help him massively.
He might have the chance. Is he going to dive? Is he going to do it? No, it sits behind, sensible. I am a fan of that.
Zach is now all over the back of our championship leader. He's smelling blood on his debut.
He is. He's in a position here. Again, just needs to be patient. Foggy has joined. Didn't realise Foggy had disconnected,
Hopefully,
to be honest.
His car is there. I mean, his car isn't even on the grid, unfortunately, so I don't think he can get in. Oh, lovely helicopter shot on board with Zach. Oh, Jamie struggling on those softs. Yeah, Oven is a lot closer to Jesper on this lap as well. I think those softs are falling away from these guys rapidly.
It's not very often you see a Toro Rosso outpacing a Red Bull. Good move.
The door to run onto the curb a little bit.
Well, the door was open.
Jamie peels in, I think.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen anyway. But yeah, Zach up to P2. Now let's keep an eye. So it's 5.5 seconds the gap. Yellow flag sector 3. Is that Lee Cole? No? Marty?
Oh, it's BLT. Spun it just before the pit. And he's come straight into the pit. It's smart of him.
Maybe he was just about to pit as well. Poor Avon is close.
Yeah, he just couldn't get past because Jesper had DRS, which helped him out a little bit.
Doesn't need to force it though. Like I said, he's still only 2 seconds behind Zach, and still on a better strategy than I think anybody else on the grid at the moment.
Zach is looking very quick though.
He is good on him. Well, Zach's pulled nearly half a second on Zumpy on this lap. I can't imagine it's long before Zumpy does come in. Oven is close. I mean, that oven's been preheated for about 4 seasons now. Finally up to temperature, and he's could be on to win.
Yep.
Yeah, Zumpy's in, so Jesper stayed out. Obviously, he couldn't stack. Oven's got the run, so this is important that Oven gets this move done. I don't know why Jesper's trying to squeeze into him there, but
yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Then he was coming across quite aggressively there.
Right, so Oven up into P2, so he's got clean air ahead of him now. He's keeping an eye on that gap between him and Zach. I think they might be quite relatively close on pace. It could be a battle at the end between these guys. TRS and Junkie Sport going side by side into turn 1. TRS outbrakes himself again. Seems to be a bit of a theme in this one.
Around 19.5 seconds, I think. So
yeah, well, we'll call it 20. Yeah.
Now about 5th, I think.
Yeah, we'll call it 20. Give or take. TRS applying the pressure on Junkie Sport. Oven is bringing down the gap to Zach. So Oven, to me, is quickest car on track at the minute. Junkie Sport returning after 2 weeks away in sunny Greece. Nice to have him back on the grid. Oh, TRS is on the grass again. And here comes Marty. Oh, Marty's looking close. I mean, Marty's in another good position to score points here tonight. Good points as well. Doesn't need to force it. Doesn't need to take any risks. Jesper's in.
FTRL seems to be struggling.
Must be said, Lee Cole is only 3 seconds behind Oven. I know he's on the medium tyres, but nevertheless, he's had an amazing start to this race. He's really gone under the radar. Obviously, we've seen it how many positions he'd gained in the first lap, but Junkie Sport's off. TRS is close. Marty's close.
Oh, TRS again.
Yeah, he's frightening me this evening, Joe.
I don't know if he's missing his braking point. Or...
Oh, this is risky. This is risky. This is risky.
Oh, what is he doing?
Oh, dear. Oh, there goes Marty's front wing.
Well. Did Marty actually get any damage though?
Oh, now Marty and Junkie Sport. Marty's round.
I'm not entirely sure what happened though.
So Marty has lost front wing after that thing with TRS. Well, a little bit of drama. Well, TRS needs to massively calm down. Zumpy sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:20.8. Solid lap time on the hard tyre. Just going to have a check in the old...
Oh! Junkie Sport just nearly hit the...
TRS has run massively wide again.
Yeah, I think he's got damage. He must have damage. He
Front
doesn't
right,
though.
yeah. Hopefully there's no more lunges here. Hopefully there's no more lunges.
Oh, what's he doing?
Well, Jamie Morris has confirmed he did rage quit. Peatman urging TRS to cool down. Blue flag in the stream. Very unfortunate to see what happened there.
Just 30 seconds of madness from everybody.
Yeah. Gutted for blue flag, but
Marty was in a really good position, and then
yeah, I'm absolutely gutted for Marty. I really am, because he was on a really good strategy there as well. TRS completely cutting the chicane, which is very unlike TRS. Very, very unlike him indeed.
it's like he's heard our praise, and then he's just
Yeah. Oh, I'm very fearful at the moment.
no.
Oh my!
Is it possible to black flag people? It's been very erratic. It's very strange. He's
Well,
not really ruined somebody's racing.
an Agent Panda is on the back of this now. We'll go on board in TRS.
We're going to see TRS lunge again. We do. He's doing it into every single corner. Push Junkie Sport wide.
Yeah.
Now Agent Panda's
No
going to
Agent
try and
Panda's
go
in there as well.
Things better all
TRS has outbroken himself. Agent Panda's running to the back of him. Yeah, it's kind of knocked Junkie Sport out of his rhythm a little bit there. Now, Agent Panda is actually in a very good position here. He's obviously on a 2-stop, but nevertheless, I mean, essentially we've only got 11 runners. Because Jamie Morris has rage quit and Foggy's not obviously on track and we've had 3 retirements, so pretty much everyone that finishes tonight is going to score themselves some points, so no need to take any risks whatsoever.
Now up at the top, I think Oven has had a moment because he's now a second and a half behind Lee Cole.
God, yeah, he's 9.5 seconds behind. Has he got any damage? I just want to go on board with Agent Panda, as we could see a legitimate Agent Panda overtake. As we say, we've got Agent Panda on the back of TRS, down in towards turn 1. He's a little bit late on the brakes. Yeah, it pulls out the move. Nice attempt from Agent Panda. Has Oven got any wing damage?
I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. Maybe just had a bit of a moment. But I mean, it's certainly put himself in a much worse position than what he was in. Marty's picked up a 3-second time penalty. Agent Panda is sticking with TRS to his credit. That's a lot of time in Agent Panda, very committed individual. But nice to see him get himself some points. Started the season off pretty well. Very committed member, very popular member. He's the Goy Carp of F3. We have a Marty versus Junkie Sport battle for P9 in the background. So we've got two battles. Oven is very close to Lee Cole as well.
Yeah, he's back into his rhythm.
Just going to stay on board. Oh no. Agent Panda surely he's going to get the move done here. Needs to turn up his ERS. Needs to turn up his ERS. Oh, he could have had that done.
Marty's got past Junkie Sport. Junkie Sport has just pulled off a switchback.
Whoa.
And Marty's come back at him now.
I'm watching this battle for P2. The battle for P2. Oh, Oven's close to Lee Cole. Oh.
He looked like he tried to pull back into the slipstream there.
There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Oh, Agent Panda.
No. Oh, his teammates nearly hit him.
Oh, Zumpy's in here as well. Oh,
this is hectic.
This is hectic. This is chaos.
Lee Cole is in such a vulnerable position.
Yeah. Zumpy could get two here. Zumpy could get them both. He could get them both. Around the outside of FTRL Oven. Who's going to come out in front? He could get them both. Oven around the outside of Zumpy. Zumpy's just ahead.
That's great racing.
Oh, brilliant.
Oh, Oven!
Oh!
Wow, that was close.
Oh, I thought we nearly heard the famous Joe Burns line of "That was fantastic racing." Is it a conscious thing now? Whenever that happens, you think, I can't say that.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to trademark it.
Oh, you should, mate. God, I'd get fined millions for the amount I've said it. Yeah, Lee needs to dive into the pits now. I think Zach is in a fantastic position now. Because Zumpy did get held up.
About 6 or 7 seconds behind Zumpy.
Yeah, exactly. On much fresher tyres. Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, Lee Cole is struggling massively.
Yeah, he really is.
A lot of penalties flying in there then, isn't it?
Oven on the back of Lee Cole. Down towards turn 1. Pulls to the inside. Should be straightforward. Oh my god. Lee Cole switchback. Lee Cole switchback.
Oven gets it done. Oven just needs to take a minute now and just relax. He's had a couple of moments in the last 4 or 5 laps. Just needs to chill. Jamie's closing up to these guys as well. Under 3 seconds. It was. Oh, he's had a moment. Up Goy curb. He's managed to hold it though.
Goy curb. I love how that's a thing. We're going to get to a stage in FTRL where pretty much every single track's going to have corners named after all of our drivers.
Yeah, forget the actual corner names.
Then Blue Flag's knowledge will just be utterly pointless.
There we go, Zach's in.
Lee should follow, I imagine.
Oh no!
Come on, Lee, in you go. In you go. No, he's carrying on.
That's brave.
I'm intrigued by Lee's.
He's lost over a second already this lap, 2 of them, so I'm surprised he stayed out.
Yeah. BLT and Junkie Sport.
Jamie gets past Zach.
Ooh! BLT.
So Zach is just over 2 seconds behind Jamie.
Oh, this is
Past that
close.
5 second penalty.
You need to get on board with this battle for P9. It's intense. It's the battle between the junkie and a sandwich filler. Oh, BLT to the inside. Outbreaks. Everyone, including the country he's in. We're going to go side by side in towards turn 2. BLT.
Oh no!
I mean,
BLT pulled out with it,
yeah.
and then I think let go of the brakes and just that's unfortunate. McLarens are just propping everybody up at the moment.
Yes, wasn't the best chain of events, but on board with Zach as he is closing down. Jamie's on 9-lap fresher tyres on the same tyre. He's in a brilliant position to win this race, I think, is Zach.
He does have that 5 second unsafe stop go though.
I know, but even so, he's on so much fresher tyres. He's currently in he's definitely a net P3 at the moment. Only 1.5 seconds behind Jamie and just a few more seconds away from Zumpy, the race leader.
And for a pretty good debut race, eh?
He really is.
Jamie's struggling a little bit now. Cracks are appearing.
Zach is closing down Jamie. Just a couple of attempts. There's all the difference is. Lee Cole has taken those mediums a very long way. He needs to go in now. Come on, Lee. There we go. We could see a move from Zach here, depending on his exit, which has had a very good one indeed. James is a sitting duck. He's got DRS himself, but I imagine Zach will get this done around the outside.
They're going very slow. We might get in the way of this.
Zach and Jamie side by side in towards turn 2. Zach's pulled out. Good defensive driving from Jamie. Very cultured.
Oh, flags are up.
TRS is in the pits.
Martin out to P7. I think he's just gonna just ignore the wing damage and just try and go to the end. He's got big enough of a gap. If he just keeps it on track, he should still get a decent finish here.
Yeah. Well, FTRL Oven has gone from looking like a candidate to win this race to potentially not even being on the podium. I think he's just gone into the pits.
Yeah, yes. And he nearly hit the wall.
Here comes Zach. Jamie's pulled out. Zach towards the outside.
Realised.
Switch back, switch back, switch back, switch back, switch back.
Oh, that's a great move.
Oh.
Jamie breaks late.
Oh. The whole sequence of driving was just...
don't do it.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, that was great driving.
That was fantastic racing.
Gosh. So, Oven P5, 7.5 seconds behind Jesper on the mediums. Strange race from Mercedes driving.
Yeah, I think P4 will probably be the best he can get out of this one, but for any incidents in front. Zumpy looks odds on now, I think, unless Zach can really close up towards the latter stages. I don't think the gap will come down too much now. think it'll be more towards the end. The main thing for Zach though is trying to keep Jamie out of DRS range. That's what he needs to do.
At the moment, Jamie is extending his lead by 5 points, if I've worked out the points positions correctly. Yeah, so 24 with 44 remaining. Oven would have his work cut out, but it's doable. Yellow flags. Agent Panda's gone round. McLarens aren't having a very good day.
No, really not. Right, well, Zach has got Jamie just outside of DRS range now, and he's actually closed up a little bit to Zumpy as well. So the trouble is, effectively, he's got to make up what 12 seconds because he's got that 5-second penalty as well. But it's quieting down right now.
Of course, the battle we have is for the podium at the moment. Another yellow flag is out, and Agent Panda's round again. Oh, nah, we're really struggling at the minute. FTRL Oven has just popped in the quickest lap.
Right, we're going to go on board with Oven. Let him take us round because there's not really any battles on track. TRS is coming up to the back of BLT, which I'm sure we're going to keep a very, very close eye on. Yellow flag sector 2.
TRS half a second.
Oh, it's Junkie Sport. Lost it on Goy curb. Comes TRS. I think BLT has just yielded position. No, he's not. He's going into the pits. Okay, so that's him safe. FTRL Oven. Safe is the correct terminology to use at this moment in time. That is
second and a half in the last lap. Oh, there's a Williams.
Yeah, it's Junkie Sport. No, it's alright. It's fine. It's fine.
It looked a lot closer on the angle I had.
I reckon one more lap and Oven's going to be right up the back of Jesper. But then the problem he's got is he's got 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds to Jamie, so.
How many points do you get for 4th?
12.
Because, it's not too bad. You're losing 3 points to your championship rival who's going to be missing the last 2. So
then he'll have a 22-point gap. Or deficit, should I say.
Yeah. To make up in 2 weeks.
So he needs essentially, what, a 4th and a 5th?
Which for Oven is definitely doable.
The thing about Oven is sometimes he's his own worst enemy.
Closing quickly here.
Well, Zach's not really closing down Zumpy too much.
And unfortunately for Zach, he isn't pulling away from Jamie enough of what he needs to either.
No.
Oh, Oven's had a massive slide.
But he's in DRS range.
Agent Panda's gone.
Oh no.
Down to 10.
Right, FTRL Oven. Now, let's just hope he doesn't put himself in a position like he did at Monza where he gets desperate. Because he really doesn't need to. Jamie's missing the last 2 races. Oven has got desperate.
I mean, he hasn't made contact, to be fair. That was a pretty good move. He's just Daniel Ricciardo'd it.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a McLaren there, all broken. Martin's pit.
I think he's very lucky that Jesper's responded to that, I think.
Yeah, I think Jesper definitely saw him come. Marty's pitting for a front wing, so he's going to come out behind TRS, which is probably for the best. Kind of a 2 or 3 second gap, I think.
Cool, Oven is. He is flying though. He's going fast. I mean, it is a big if, but if FTRL Oven can catch up to and pass Jamie, he's putting himself in a brilliant position.
Oven is currently capitalising on the DRS of a ghost car.
Yeah. Why would you not? He's brought the gap down by over a second already.
Still 11 laps.
Oh, Jamie, 3-second time penalty, that's big.
You know what, I'm going to check, because I think Jamie has had a couple, you know. Ooh. I'll tell you what, Aaron, it's gonna be close.
Has Oven got any? I don't think he has he?
No.
That's important for him.
Yeah, at the rate at which Oven is going, if he doesn't get a penalty, then he'll be dandy at the moment. He just needs to keep going. Keeps his head.
Oh, it's exciting. And don't forget as well, Zach has this 5-second penalty as well. So.
Oh yes, that would jump. Oh,
I mean, this. Yeah, it really could. If Oven ends up second and Jamie ends up fourth, then the gap is 13 points with 2 races left.
Yeah, this could go quite a few ways at the end.
It really could. Well, stand on board of Oven. I mean, there's not much else really going on.
It's come down by another half a second.
Yeah. Go on board with Zumpy, the race leader. I mean, uncontested in this race so far. Been absolutely flawless.
Another half a second taken out of that. Oven is absolutely flying. But he is coming up to the back of a McLaren. Which hopefully gets out of his way.
Well, bad news unfortunately. Foggy's saying that his PS4 is completely broken. It won't even turn itself on now.
Oh. BRT, yep. Well played. Gets completely out of the way. And Oven flies through with the gap now at 6.8. It was 8 2 laps ago.
Yeah, it's getting close, isn't it? FTRL Oven is absolutely flying.
He is preheated.
Well,
actually, he's just fully heated at this point.
Yeah, I know. I mean, he's gas mark 10 at the minute. I do like the camera angle as they go through the chicane. I think that looks really smart.
Yeah, it's now at 6. This is it. This is it. Don't want to spoil anything for you, Aaron, but I'm excited.
I mean, you pretty much have.
Jamie is struggling. He's come down by 7 tenths in the last 3 corners.
Yeah, he's really not having the best of times, is he? Zach is slowly getting the gap down to Zumpy. I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Zumpy will win this race.
It must be said, look how long Zumpy and Jamie have taken those tyres. 20 and 19 laps.
With another 8
to
go.
Might get a puncture here.
No, I don't think he will. The hards is... Nah, I can't see it. The only thing I can see happening is overheating towards the end and maybe a spin. But I think the only person who gets punches in this league is Deline.
That's true.
I mean, he's had about 8 in about 3 races. So, yeah, look at that gap. It's just absolutely flying down. He could end up getting past both of them on track if he carries on like this. I mean, just humour me. Has Zumpy got any penalties?
He does.
How many does he have?
1.
He has 1, okay. So what is the gap to leader? I know it's a bit of a long shot, but we've got not much else to talk about. He's got about 10.5 seconds to make up.
Oh, Oven with a massive slide. That's not going to help him. Practically drifted through the penultimate corner there.
Yeah, he's pushing that a little bit too hard at the minute. I mean, I'm sure he'll be aware that Jamie has those penalties, I would imagine.
Well, the gap between Oven and Zach is what, about 7 seconds? Oh, about 8? It needs to be 5. But the way Oven's going... Not too long. 3.7 now, taking 6/10 out of him in the first 3 corners.
Yeah. He's flying. I mean, the only downside to having this many retirements is that it's not made much racing action, but nevertheless, it has given us something to look forward to.
35 seconds back.
Yeah, quite possibly. Having an 8.5 commit to turn, what's that? Is it turn 11? The fast right-hander.
I'm just gonna say yes.
I don't know. It's something like that.
He's really struggling through the penultimate corner of, and he's scared to put the throttle down. He's had a few moments through there. Well, he's really messing with his head.
Jamie's well within sight of him now, I think.
Yeah, I think once you get proper sight, you know that you're catching. It just sends you into a sort of tunnel vision.
Marty with another penalty.
I'm really gutted for TRS. All the banter aside, you were really praising him at the start of this race, and just had such a weird race.
I mean, it's definitely out of character. I can tell you that much. But I mean, nevertheless, he still deserves praise. He's had a fantastic season, and he really has driven well. Tonight, like I said, maybe it is the pressure of it, because you know, I remember when I first started league racing, and I was right down the bottom all the time, and then all of a sudden I found a bit of pace and I was up there competing towards the top end of the points, and when you get round your first sort of podium places, it is quite a nerve-wracking situation. So maybe it was that, and maybe he's just put a little bit too much pressure on himself, and that's what's happened. Yeah, Jamie's tyre is 22 laps old.
Was stopped.
It's sort of steadied a bit now, isn't it?
It's coming down slowly, but nowhere near as quick as it was.
No.
I mean, down by maybe a couple of tenths a lap now.
Other needs to pull about 2 seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds.
Another moment.
And he could be in with a comfortable P2 here. He needs to find about 2 seconds in 5 or 6 laps, which he's more than capable of doing. Well, I feel like we're going to see a battle regardless towards the end of this. Pagani's asking, can you dive bomb from 35 seconds back?
Yeah.
Ivan is absolutely committed. I mean, that gap's come flying down this lap, Joe.
It's gonna be a battle.
Thing is, he's not going to know when he gets past Jamie, or if he gets past Jamie, that Zach has that 5-second penalty, because Jeff doesn't actually tell you that. So he's going to really, really push. Now, all he needs to not do is push so hard that he ends up ruining his own race, because all he's got to do theoretically tonight is beat Jamie.
He needs to. Oh, oven! No! Oh, what have you done? I was about to say all he needs is 2/10 to jump Zach.
Yeah.
And I think that's just about done it for him.
What he needs to do is just turn the car down, get control.
Oh,
there we go.
His head's gone.
I mean, nevertheless, I think he's... I mean, how many penalties has Jamie got? 2?
2, yeah. So Oven will still jump Jamie, but P2 I think is definitely gone now unless Zach picks up a penalty.
Is Zach anywhere close? I mean, we don't like to look at penalties normally, but it's...
I don't think so. Zach, I think is pretty safe now.
Yeah. So the gap now between Oven and Zach is what, 6.7, 6.8 seconds, and he needs to get that down. Yeah, so I think the best he's looking at is a P3 here. He just doesn't need to push. End of the day, if he beats Jamie, he's still going to be gaining points on him whilst Jamie's still here, and then he's got 2 races left without Jamie for him to win the championship. It effectively is all down to him.
What I feel like Oven is doing wrong there at turn 1, which is why he's having his moments, is he's going down to first gear.
Is it?
I don't know whether a lot of drivers do that, but I take turn 1 in second.
And then an early upshift to third. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't. It's a bit strange. I don't know whether Oven just doesn't feel confident with the setup that he's got. But to take that in first gear, it's just going to offset the car so much.
Yeah. Must be said, Lee Cole deserves a lot of credit. He's gone from 16th to 6th in this race.
Yeah, not really spoke about him either. It's just very much gone about his business.
He very much has. That's now going to put him very close to those above him in the championship as well, actually. Obviously, Foggy looking like he's going to struggle now in terms of if his PlayStation's going to have some issues. What was the deficit? Let's have a look. So Lee was on 30 points, is that?
Yeah.
And Nexus Lotus has retired. So he's going to get 8 points tonight.
Is it raining? It's raining.
It is? Oh.
Well, that's very odd. That's quite interesting.
That is interesting. Oven needs to turn his engine down.
Where he was falling out of that 3-second barrier that he needed. And he started pushing again now, and he's getting quite close to within DRS again. So he really needs to just chill.
I'm very intrigued. I mean, obviously, at this moment in time, he's going to be in the podium interview. I'm very keen to speak to him. I must say. He's in DRS range now.
Yeah, just needs to relax.
Yeah, this
rain is not going to help Zumpy and Jamie with their already warm tyres.
No. I think Zumpy's safe, but for any mistakes now. Oven's in DRS range, half a second. I think he's a little bit too far back on this lap, but what he needs to not do now is overcommit, because if he starts doing things like that, he's especially in this wet weather.
I don't know if he's listening to us, but he's just taken turn 1 in second.
No, he did drop down to first, but he upshifted quickly. Jamie's struggling, really struggling.
Oh. Right, just stop. Over and stop.
Yeah.
You're really going to
just doesn't need to push.
It's going to be such a shame.
I really hope this isn't Italy 2.0 for him.
He wants to do everything on track when he needs to think about the title. He needs to just calm down. Yeah, Jamie's falling off the back of Zach massively, and that gap between Zach and Zumpy is also falling quite a bit. Don't think it's going to be enough though.
That was Zach obviously.
Oh no, Oven, what are you doing?
It's Italy 2.0. It is Italy 2.0.
What has he done?
I don't understand it. I really don't understand it.
That is unbelievable. He's just thrown away a podium for nothing.
That's 3 points lost rather than 2 points gained as well for him. That is Italy 2.0. It's happened again. I really don't get it. Nevertheless, let's go on. Yeah, me too. Let's go on board with Zumpy as he comes around. He's not really been on stream much at all tonight, but he's what a phenomenal race. Absolutely flawless it is.
Yeah, fantastic drive. Just missed out on a podium last week on his first race.
Yeah, I mean that was only through an incident as well. I think on track he was either going to be first or second, but he had a couple of little moments around Monaco, but I think you can forgive anybody for that.
Well, looks like we found a cracking little driver. It's going to be good watching him next season.
We certainly have. Well, nevertheless, he's about to come around the final corner to claim his first podium, his first win, with his first pole position in FTRL. Maximum points for him for this weekend. Zumpy crosses the line and takes the win. Superb drive. And Zach on debut is going to come home and claim a very, very famous and well received P2. Jamie comes around to collect P3, and the newly crowned FTRL bottle is going to come home in P4.
And he ran out of fuel just to add to the misery.
Yeah, Jesper's coming
Could
round.
have been a gap of 17. He's now a gap of what? 20, 22?
22, yeah. Yeah, Jesper comes over in P5. Lee Cole come around the final corner to bring it home in P6. TRS and Marty, interestingly. Marty, no! It's just absolutely slid off, smashed into the barrier and taken off his front wing.
Not helping.
That was close. He could have retired then as well, and that would have been no points at all.
That would have been so harsh. BLT is just... Oh, Junkie Spotter's got past BLT on the last corner. For P9.
Oh, I missed it.
Wow.
Well, TRS.
Marty and TRS
Round the final corner.
The way over the line.
So Marty takes it. TRS takes it. Marty crosses the line. And brings home 4 points for Renault. So double points finish for those boys. Which they'll be pleased about. Lee Cole, I think, will just be pleased to finish the race.
Don't know what to say about that race. That was absolutely mental.
Yeah, I mean, it got very, very stale for quite a large portion of it. But yeah, nevertheless, it certainly brought some drama. So here we go. Zumpy's going to raise the trophy with Zach on debut in P2 and Jamie rounding off the podium. So let's get these boys in for a quick chat. The stream won't be able to hear you, Joe, for a minute, so you're going to have to accept them as well when I suggest.
Should just be able to invite him, mate. I've left it open.
Okay, so we'll just wait for these guys to join. Okay, so Zumpy is here.
Yeah, hi.
We'll just just take a moment, mate. We're just going to wait for Zach and for Jamie to join for the podium interview.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, there is Zach, and we'll just wait for Jamie. And there we go.
Hello.
Right, gents, can you all double check that you're allowing your voice to be shared in the party settings for me so everybody else on the stream can hear you?
Yeah, mine's on.
Cool.
Yeah, my son.
Yours is done as well, Zumpy, yeah?
Yeah.
Mine's on.
Cool. Right, well, first of all, congratulations to all three of you. Quite boring races in your own right, other than yours at the end, Jamie, which we'll get to. Zumpy, so first of all, pole position around Hungary in your second race. How was the qualifying lap for you? Because that was a very, very impressive time that you set. Did you just all sort of click together?
I was actually pretty disappointed because
right.
first lap, first lap I was going really fast, but then there was this racing point. I got stuck behind him,
Right.
and third sector I knew I could have gone even faster. So I'm happy, but there was always time for improvement, you know.
Okay, so a bit of a perfectionist, I see then, but nevertheless,
Yeah.
obviously at the obviously you get the 2 bonus points for pole position, so a massive well done for that. Then obviously moving on to the race, you starting on pole position, and you pretty much got away under a little bit of early pressure at the start, but other than that, after the first couple of laps, it was just kind of pull away really. How was the race for you? Did you have any sort of moments or any scary points, or was it quite straightforward for you?
I think the best was when I passed Mercedes and Renault after my pit stop.
Yeah.
That was the best point, and near the end I was worried that my tires wouldn't, last. And
Yeah.
of course the rain started pouring. I was really cautious for that, but it was a good race. I was just checking behind to keep Jack at least 5 seconds away, and pretty easy race.
Nice. Well, I mean, obviously your debut was last week in Monaco. Obviously, you showed very good pace around there. Obviously, just missed out on a podium. There's a couple of little incidents, but I think anybody can be forgiven for those around Monaco. The fact that you've now come in with just a couple of races left, how are you hoping to end the season? Just more of the same? Obviously, we've got USA and Brazil as the final 2 races, so before a fresh new season.
Yeah, well, USA is not my good track, but in Brazil I think I can be very high.
Yeah, very nice indeed. And then obviously just one final question then, obviously moving on, with the sort of form and pace that you've shown so far, how are you looking forward to your first full season with us next season?
I'm looking forward to it. It's always nice to start the full season at the first race, and this is like a new to me to try for the middle.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna have a good championship next season.
Cool. Well, nevertheless, I hope you have a very good end to the season. Massive congratulations tonight. That's maximum points for you, and I'm sure we'll see you on here again very, very soon, mate. So well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, Mr. Burns, you want to have a chat with our newbie, Mr. Zach?
It's our debutante. Right, Zach, how was that as your first race?
It was very straightforward. I didn't have many issues, to be honest. I just had to get past a lot of people at the start because obviously I was in mediums, so I knew they were all going to come into the pits quite early, so I just had to get past them as quick as possible. And luckily someone went off, which was helpful. Round, I think it was turn 2, someone went off as well later on, so I got 2 positions quite early on, and then I just had to get past Jamie after I pitted for hards. But to be honest, it was very straightforward. Nothing really happened. I couldn't get past Zumpy. He was, even with worn hards, he was still the same time as me. I just wasn't gaining at all. I wasn't comfortable in the hards whatsoever, but a good race.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite fitting that you sort of mentioned the hards. I was just about to ask how your setup felt. I know a couple of guys have been really struggling, and even on stream we saw a lot of guys struggling with turn 4. I mean, how was that sort of section for you? So towards the chicane, did your setup feel alright?
Turn 4, to be honest, I had no issues whatsoever. I mean, I didn't. The only penalty I got was because I sped in the pit lane by 2 miles per hour, which I was quite unhappy with. But I only got 2 warnings, and they were both very close together, and one of them was the little chicane, I can't remember what turns there, but the little chicane, and the other one was at turn 4 where I just clipped the inside a bit too much. But to be honest, I had no issues with turn 4 whatsoever, to be honest.
Cool. USA next. How are we feeling around there?
I'm hopeless around USA. I doubt I'll be here next week. Put it that way. I'll definitely be probably 6th, 7th, I'd imagine. Brazil maybe slightly better, but I can't imagine me being anywhere near the podium in USA, to be honest.
Cool. Well, just in case you're not on the podium for the next couple of weeks, which, going off this pace, I find it quite hard to believe, but we'll just have to take your word for it. Very good first race. Next season, I mean, I think you're going to be up there?
Well, I hope so. I mean, these 3 tracks, to be honest, I'm not actually that great around Hungary, to be honest. I've never been one of my strong tracks, to be honest. So, my strong tracks are Monaco, which I just missed, Italy, Belgium, Austria, places like that, and we've not got any of them, so we'll see next year, but hopefully I can give a good fight.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your first podium.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure we'll see many more to come.
Yeah, big congratulations to Zach as well. I'm really pleased for him. So, right, so Jamie, let's move on to you, mate. First of all, welcome back once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Obviously, now, can you confirm publicly that this is your last race of the season? Because it seems to be a bit of a myth that you can. Is. Right, okay. No, but all jokes aside, so obviously qualifying, I think you ended up qualifying P2, I believe.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with my lap as well. It was 16.6, got a temp, within a temp to Zampi, which I was quite impressed with.
Yeah, I mean, when he set that time initially, the 16.5, I was thinking, Christ, that's a really, really impressive time. And then obviously you just narrowly missed out on it. Do you think there's anything left in the quali lap, or was it pretty much as good as it was going to get for you?
I think I got improved on my first sector, because I gained most of my time in the third sector.
Right.
So...
Okay.
If I just get a couple of corners right there, yeah, I think it would have been pulled up.
Yeah, exactly. Well, moving on to the race, obviously you started on the soft tyre and took the hards very deep into the race. I think, obviously, you and Zach had a bit of a scrap for a little while. That was really, there was a couple of really nice little moments here between you two, which we got on stream. So, well done to you both on that. Obviously, with the added importance of the fact that you're missing the last 2 races and obviously the DNF in Monaco last week, was there a little bit of added pressure on you tonight, obviously going away as the championship leader?
Well, mainly I was hoping for a good result, and something happened to my championship contenders around me. I don't know why, but I didn't feel really much pressure coming into it. But yeah, the main thing was just hoping that something happens to the championship contenders, and yeah, eventually on the last, well, the second to last lap, and Oven did the same thing that he did in Monza, which was
yeah,
a turning point.
I called it. I mean, I said it was just hoping it wasn't, because the thing is, at this stage you had 2 penalties, and he only picked up 1, and that was on, I don't know, maybe 3 laps from the end. So it was, I mean, he must have known by that stage, so I was really confused as to what happened, and it looked like just a bit of a desperate lunge again. But I think me and Joe were both saying during the stream that it was, I don't know, we kind of almost had that feeling it was going to happen again. Was you surprised when you see him go for that move, or could you kind of see it coming?
Yeah, I was surprised. To be honest, I didn't really think that he would go for a move, considering that he was a bit too far back on the last lap, I think, to really try for it.
Yeah.
And also the fact that he was probably safe in the knowledge to my penalties, then it would have been smart enough. He would have been smart enough to just stay behind and get the podium.
Just bring it home, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, well, nevertheless, I think, because the thing is, at one point he had a big moment out of turn 1, about lap 32 or so, and at that stage he was the fastest car on track, and obviously Zach having this 5-second penalty and Oven not having one at that stage, it looked like it could have been odds on for a P2 at one stage. So in which case that would have dropped you down to P4, he would have got P2, so the gap would have been 13 points obviously for the final 2 races, which would have been you know, not the most difficult of tasks, can I say. But now, obviously, the fact that you've now outscored him and the gap's now 22 points with 2 races to go, obviously you've seen that he's made a couple of mistakes now. Is there a little part of you that's confident that you might hold on to this?
Yeah, I don't think it's 100% that I'm going to keep it. It's far from that, but there is that one part of me, like you said, that is pretty confident.
Yeah. Well,
Let's
nevertheless,
something to pop up or something in the next week or two.
Exactly. Well, the last question I've got for you then is: are you going to be keeping a close eye on it whilst you're away?
I try my best, but then again, I am 5 hours behind where I'm going, so yeah, it's going to be hard for me to keep up the races. But I'll definitely look at the results or in the stream later on in the days if I can. Well,
nevertheless, I hope you have a fantastic holiday, mate. And whatever happens, I just want to publicly congratulate you on a brilliant season. For you being absolutely outstanding and a pleasure to have. So well done to you for that, mate. And I hope you have a great holiday.
Yep, thank you.
Cool. Right. So, ladies and gents, thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. Sorry about the stream is in 2 parts for those that were racing. For some reason, there was a bit of a technical difficulty at the start, but these things happen. Nevertheless, we are getting towards the business end of this FTRL season now. Season 10, can you believe it? So we've only got USA next week and then Brazil to wrap things up in just 2 weeks' time. So make sure you tune in for each and every race. All the championships could go down to the final race of the season, so you definitely don't want to miss out on anything at all. Nevertheless, thank you very much to my co-commentator for this evening, Mr. Joe Burns, and we will see you next time. Thank you all very much.